On today's Chasing the Game, we have Springfield head softball coach Rob Gwozdz. We talk about the Blue Devils season, his career, and everything in between. Chasing the Game starts right now. Welcome into Chasing the Game. Rob Gwozdz is here. Rob, thank you so much for coming on and doing this. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
How are things in the season right now? You guys are 18-8, I think, 12-3 in conference.
Yeah.
I think in the last coaches poll, you guys were number 10 in the state. How are things going in the dugout?
Real happy where we're at right now. I mean, I put together probably the hardest schedule in my 24 years of coaching to not only win the Northern Lakes League, the Cardinal Division, but to make a deep tournament run, and I think we're right on track.
What's that like being a part of divisions now? I mean, obviously it was competitive when it was just one conference. Now there are divisions. What's that like playing in the Cardinal Division now? Well,
you're probably talking to the wrong guy, because I'm the old dog in the league, and I miss our rivalries. You know, the head-to-heads against Anthony Wayne and the head-to-heads against Perrysburg, and then eventually playing them in the regionals and stuff like that. And that thing's gone by the wayside. And I understand why, the competitive balance and all that kind of stuff. It's just a whole new world.
Yeah. So many things that you mentioned there. I mean, so much to unpack. Anthony Wayne, obviously you guys play once a year now. Is that tough, only getting them once a year now?
No, I mean, it's a great rivalry. Tons of respect both ways. Coach Meyer and I get along fantastic. It's a huge game for us. We talk about it all year long. I'm sure they do the same, and we look forward to that clash.
What is it about that rivalry? I mean, that's the thing that I always think about too, is you guys have been so terrific. Anthony Wayne's been so terrific. The last few years, that rivalry has just been amazing. What is it about that rivalry that it always just seems to be a good game?
Yeah, I think it goes back, my whole 24 years. They were a strong program, and when I came in, a couple years to turn that program around, and then we found out we could compete with them, and then back and forth. They've made runs to the state Final Fours. I've made runs to state Final Fours. It's just two great programs, and a lot of respect for each other.
Yeah, you guys are a few years removed from that state final appearance in 22. A lot of those kids are freshmen then, seniors now. What is it about this group? I'm sure it's a special group to you.
Yeah, and a lot of coaches say that, but this group is as tight of a group as I've ever had. I mean, they are literally together morning, noon, and night. In the classroom together, outside together, obviously at practice together. Tons of team bonding, just great senior leadership. 4 of those kids are going on to play at the next level. It's just a really special group.
Yeah, you talk about team bonding. That's obviously been a huge thing for you. I think I talked to you last year. You guys were doing like Easter egg drops and stuff together. What is it about team bonding? Was that always an intentional part of like your coaching philosophy, or did that just sort of happen?
No, it was always it started out slow, with maybe a team dinner at a parent's house or whatever, and then it just blossomed to, we're together 6 nights a week. That's how much we, either playing or practicing, and we just like to be together, stay together, do things extra. Last night we were at one of the girls' house and we watched a movie.
Yeah.
Hardball from 2021, 25 years ago that movie was, yeah.
Yeah. You guys have taken Florida trips together. Do you see how much chemistry improves after those Florida trips? Like, do you notice that the kids are like closer after those trips?
Yeah, it's huge, because we're together. Like this year, we rented a house, and all of us were in a house with myself, my wife, my assistant, and his wife, and we were together morning, noon, and night, and got to learn more about each other than just what's happening on the diamond.
Yeah, were you guys always doing that, or is that a relatively new thing for you guys, is taking these trips?
No, this is my second year in a row going to Florida. We've always went over to Cleveland to the Grange Keystone, which they take the top teams in Ohio and do a 3-game thing. We spend the night and do some team bonding there, but we just expanded over the last couple of years to do these trips.
Yeah, going back to Anthony Wayne, you guys, last time you played, last week I believe it was, you guys won 5-0. How good were you guys feeling after that win? That had to have been a great win.
Well, yeah, we were feeling great, but Molly Connor is just a phenomenal player. I've known her since she was probably 8 years old, and just to be able to get some success off of her is hopefully going to help us down the tournament run, because we're going to see some other great pitchers just like her.
Yeah, another pitcher that you guys had that was great, Maddie Yackey. She's at UT now. She's doing quite well, I understand. What was it like to have someone that was doing really well in high school and has now gone on to the D1 level? Yeah. You've had plenty of players like that.
Oh yeah, and for Maddie, it's awesome. Her younger sister Taylor is one of our great seniors that played in that state Final Four game. So Maddie's around the program all the time. And unfortunately, Toledo's tournament didn't quite make the tournament. So Maddie's back, and we're going to use her. She's going to come throw BP to us and stuff like that to get us ready for our tournament run.
How excited are you about that? Having someone like that in practice to kind of work against.
That's great, and we have tons of players that come back in the winter. We had 7 kids playing at college this year. All 7 came back in the winter and talked about their college experience with our younger kids, what it's like to play at the next level, and it's just what the program's all about. So.
Yeah, this is 24th season now for you. Was there ever a point where you thought about leaving Springfield? I mean, you've been here, 24 years at any place is a long time nowadays.
Yeah.
Was there ever a point where you thought you might go on to something else?
Well, I mean, the original plan was to get my daughter's group through and then go watch her play in college and stuff. And we had a long talk, and she just knew how much I loved it, and she told me to keep doing it. Myself, my assistant coach, Mike Haas, who's been with me for 18 years, we're just heavily involved in our community. We're at our rec leagues, our programs, watching, encouraging, cheering to have those kids come up and be part of the Fear the Tradition.
Yeah. Where did that come from, the Fear the Tradition thing? Because that's obviously a huge part, the brand of Blue Devils softball. Where did that come from?
One of my old assistant coaches, Dustin Hamilton, branded that. And like I said, it took me a couple years to get this ball rolling. And once it got rolling, we won a couple NLL championships in a row and dethroned Southview way back in the day, who was the cream of the crop. And then Dustin came up with, hey, we got something special with these. Let's talk about our tradition, Fear the Tradition. Fast forward 24 years, we just won our 12th NLL title in my 12 years. We're going after my 10th district championship in my coaching career, and hopefully making a trip to the state Final Four again for my 4th time. So that's what the tradition's all about. And we want our opponents to understand, when they're going to come play us, they better fear the tradition.
Yeah, tradition is obviously such a huge thing, in high school sports. Was there ever a point where you thought, you could go on to the college level? Did that ever cross your mind to kind of move on to that?
Oh yeah,
level?
I think about it all the time. I'm in love with the college game, and if I'm not preparing us on the diamond, I'll be home watching ESPN Plus, watching college games and stuff like that. It's something that intrigues me, and I think about just to see what it would be like at the next level. But I just love where I'm at in high school. I think one of the things that people don't understand is I feel like I spend more time mentoring young people today than I actually do coaching, and I truly appreciate that.
Yeah, your buddy Dave Whitmire was someone who coached at the college level, came to Springfield. What's that relationship like? He's obviously someone with experience at the college level.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever talk about that?
He's one of my best friends on and off the field. Obviously, we share bus rides together. We share practice times together. Sometimes I just show up early and sit in the gym and watch him coach and learn some things. Baseball and softball, are they a different game? Yes, but there are some similarities with what he does with his short game and stuff like that. And, it was a tough decision for him to leave Bowling Green State University, but now he's got 2 boys on the team this year. He's got another one coming, and he made the right decision.
Yeah. Do you guys, that support with each other, do you kind of learn some things, glean some things from him, and he kind of gleans things from you?
Yeah, absolutely. I always make sure that he addresses my team, usually a preseason talk and then a tournament talk. And obviously he's a teacher in the building too, and my girls just love him too. And we just work well off of each other.
Yeah. You talk about his kids coming up through the program. You had a daughter come up through the program, obviously played at UT, did very well. Your granddaughter is coming up. Are you going to stay around to try to coach her through high school? Is that the plan?
I don't know. It's a good question. Hallie's around. She was with us today. She's almost at every practice. She's almost at every game. The girls are just amazing to her. And I coach her 8 and under team, which sounds crazy that they're starting that young. But she just loves the game, and I'm happy and fortunate to be a part of her.
Yeah. I think the players call you Mookie. Is that
right? Oh, God. Who told you that?
We have sources. You're Rob Gwozdz. We have to know. Where did that come from? Where did the Mookie nickname
come from? Well, before I started coaching 24 years ago, I played men's softball 8 nights a week, even though there's 7 nights in the week. That's how much I played. And my first couple of years, I would coach in high school a 5 o'clock game, and then I'd head over to Lucas County Rec Center and pitch, and my whole team would follow me and watch me play. And my nickname back then was Mookie. And some of those guys that I played with 24 years ago still don't know my real name. And so I had a girl that played at Clay, and the dad came up and said, "Hey, Mookie, how you been? How you doing?" And next thing you know, that's stuck with the program for a long time. So, and I dig it. I like it. They don't need to call me coach. They call me Mookie.
So are you kind of informal that way? Do you not prefer the title coach? Are you more like Rob or Mookie? Or
everybody calls me something different. But they understand, my core values, our structure, discipline, and accountability. And as long as I have those 3 things in my program, I'll continue to coach. So they know when to address me as coach. They know when to address me as Mookie. They know how to address the situation.
Yeah. Do you notice yourself being as intense as you were 24 years ago? Is the kind of, firing people, are you a little more kind of chill, a little more calm? Like, how do you kind of seen yourself change over the last 24 years?
Well, you must have talked to some of my past players, because my past players show up and they're like, "What happened to you, man?" But I think you just have to adjust to the times, adapt to the times. I think I do a really good job at knowing what buttons I can push on each player. Some kids you can ride a little harder, some kids you can't, and I think I've done a really good job of adapting to that.
Yeah. Are the kids better off for it? Like, are they more responsive to, I guess, calm coaching than maybe the intense kind of fire people up? Are they better off for that?
I think there's a fine line. I think they like, especially on a big strike three, if we left, the other team left the bat. I mean, I'm the first one flying out of the dugout, high-fiving, fist bumping. I think they feed off of that a little bit. And then, in tight games, I got to go out to the mound and say, hey, everybody take a deep breath. We're going to slow the game down, kind of calm. So you got to know when to what buttons to push on that too.
Yeah. You own a bunch of Subways too, don't you?
Yeah.
How did that start? How did you own a bunch of Subways? Where did you get into that?
This will be year 35 in August. Before that, I was with TCBY. If anybody remembers what the country's best yogurt was, they were a franchise.
Before my time.
Yeah. And so my accountant was like, hey, you got to check this out. And this lady's got some stores in the Northwest Ohio area. So I met her and we made an agreement if I would come aboard and do some work with her and stuff like that, she would eventually make me a partner. And here we are 35 years later. Yeah.
I got to imagine that's great to have there's Subways like everywhere. How many team meals do you think are Subway?
I think we probably do 4 or 5, I guess, and it's funny because I think 7 of my 14 on my roster work for me in my stores.
so they're doing practice for you.
Yeah.
And then they're going and they're working.
Yeah.
So. That's incredible.
And our management staff's great. They allow to work around our hectic schedule, 6 days a week, whatever. And my whole goal is to make sure I can put some gas money in their pockets, or if they're able to go to the movies with their friends or something like that. They're not working 30 hours a week. Most of them are working 5 to 10.
Yeah, wow, that's incredible. You guys have the tournament coming up. You guys are in Division III now. Is that weird being in Division III with having 7 divisions now? What's your kind of take on all the new divisions in softball?
Yeah, it's really weird. Especially when it comes to the scouting side of things and stuff like that. I mean, I'm just like, I'm doing my homework more than ever because some of these teams that we could eventually come across, the Youngstown Canfield, the Auroras, we don't know much about. Where a couple years ago, we knew it was going to be Perrysburg or Anthony Wayne. We knew Elyria or North Ridgeville was coming across, and now it's just a whole different dynamic.
Do you think that'll be better long term, that it's kind of compressed into all these different divisions, that there's a smaller field of possibilities? Whereas before, when it was like 3 or 4 divisions, I mean, there's all hosts of teams you could play.
Yeah, when there was 4 divisions, you were one of 192 teams, and now I think we're one of, what is it, 120, I guess now, because the D1 has 72 teams, and then it goes 120, 120, 120. So yeah, it's a different dynamic, and I understand why, and I just, it's just different. It's strange.
Yeah, I haven't seen what the travel could potentially be for the regional rounds. Are you guys prepared for some wacky travel? I don't know.
Yeah, well, for us, for D3, we know that our districts are at Clay, which is great, not too far away, and then hopefully we can do our job and get out of there. Then we'll head over to Shelby.
Yeah. Back to Anthony Wayne. Those guys have, like I said, they've gone to the state final last few years. You guys were there in 22. Is this the year where, I know we were talking before, is this the team that, great senior class, they'd been there before as freshmen. Is this the class that can do it, can get back to a state final and potentially win a state championship?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I just, we start 7 seniors on the field. Been there, done that, and they all play great travel. They all play, against the pitching that we're going to see down the road. If we're lucky enough to get to the state Final Four, we could face an Ohio State commit. I mean, we're preparing for all that kind of stuff, and the group's really excited where we're at right now.
Yeah. What is it about state final teams or teams that win regional, make these deep runs? Is there something different about them compared to teams of the past or just your average pedestrian team?
Yeah. Honestly, you have to have some luck. I mean, people look at me when I say that, but it's the truth. You have to have a ball go this way, or you have to have a pitch go that way, and obviously you got to have the skill and stuff like that too. But when you make these kind of runs, you need a little bit of luck.
Yeah. You guys take on the winner of Notre Dame and Bowsher, I believe.
Yep.
Have you already started scouting for that? What's kind of the game plan for that?
I mean, we've taken a look at both teams. They play on Thursday, and so I most likely, or my assistant, will be out there watching and stuff like that. When you get to this point, you can't leave any stones unturned.
Yeah, Taylor Yackey, Cameron Eckhart, a lot of those guys, what do they say about this? Are they prepared to make that deep run? What do they say?
I mean, it's been the goal since day one. When we look at their path, their freshman year, they made it to the Final Four. Their second year, we made it and then got beat by Anthony Wayne in the regional final. Last year, we got beat in extra innings by Perrysburg at a slugfest, 10-9. And so now they know that this is their last chance, their last shot, and yeah, they're really ready to go.
Yeah. Rob, again, thank you so much.
You bet, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
This
man.
is awesome.
Thanks
Thank
for
you again
having
for
me.
coming in.
Appreciate
this was
it.
terrific, and congratulations to you guys on what has been a terrific season, and good luck to you going forward in the playoffs.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Chasing the Game. Be sure to check out our other episodes on the WTOL 11 Plus app. You can also find us on YouTube and on Spotify. We will see you guys next time.